For me, the first one that really popped was chapter 5, The Warrior Ethos, Code of the Calm and Dangerous. And you start out with this great Sun Tzu quote: "The general who wins a battle makes many calculations in his temple before the battle is even fought." And you have these core principles of the warrior ethos: courage, discipline, resilience, commitment, selflessness, never accept defeat, never quit, loyalty, honor, and mission first. Can you talk a little bit about that ethos and why is it important for people to contemplate that when they think about violence?
So these are kind of takeaways I took from Stephen Pressfield's book, The Warrior Ethos. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Sure. Read it multiple times.
Yeah, it was a powerful book that I remember. I have 2 copies of it, and I first read it when I was in SOI, School of Infantry. And it was powerful. And these were my takeaways from it. And, I could have, gone with like an acronym of the JJ did tie buckle, but this I felt was just, let's not revisit that. Let's, anyone can go find military acronyms and roll their eyes at them for days. But these are principles that I took away from that book and that we have to understand. And I start with courage. Why? As I talk about elsewhere in the book, courage is not an absence of fear. Bravery is not an absence of fear. It's pushing through it because we have to. That which feeds into the discipline is I have to have the discipline to fight through things I'm scared of. And that all of these things, this is not just for combat. This is for life, right? Like big job interview. You're gonna be scared of that, right? Like nervous going into it. That can change your life, right? Or just however else you can apply that. Next stages in your life. Maybe you're having a kid. That's scary. When my wife was pregnant, that was life-changing. I'm like, how am I going to afford this, give her space? How am I going to do this? And you have to do it. You just do it. It's courage is just doing because you have to, because no one else can but you. You're your only advocate, right? Like that was kind of where we go with this. And there's other things we talk about in here is they all flow together. Everything here flows together, like everything, right? Like the selflessness, right? You have to do stuff for your family, right? Like you have to have that selflessness to take care of them, and it's kind of a growing experience there when you're rolling into that. That you have to have, and if you pull the principles like that together, this will help you. Anything, in your entire
foundation.
Life.
That's right. Yeah. And I think what I extrapolated from that is that if you have a framework of your virtues, right, it gives you a barriers or a left and right flank to operate in. And I think that ethos is a great place to start and is applicable in other aspects of your life. You talked about fear, and fear I've spent a tremendous amount of time in what I teach out there. I teach a seminar called Embracing Fear. And I love the way you address it in chapter 7, right? Bravery in the face of fear and acting through uncertainty. And you write, bravery isn't about feeling fearless. It's about acting through fear. Fear is managed through knowledge of self and the enemy and of purpose. Can you expound on that a little bit?
Absolutely. Life's uncertain. And we both know that in the most literal sense, you make these great plans before you go out into combat, right? we have these 5-paragraph orders. We have this great detailed plan. Well, the enemy gets to decide. They get to help decide how that's going to play out. And so once that combat begins, things change, right? Like, you have to have that be fluid. And again, that is way more applicable than just the battlefield. But we have to have that flexibility, and we have to stand strong, in that face of adversity, because, failure in the battlefield means death, right? Like, if it's that life or death game. And so that's where, if you have to have that bravery, you have to have the courage to push through the fear and to make the hard decisions when it matters most. And I've kind of grown into that more. I mean, I was not a leader, in Afghanistan. I did get promoted to corporal, but I didn't have a team at the time. And so this was things that I realized from just the time, afterwards. Like, so much of this book is not just me, right? Like, I'm certainly, I would never try to say that, I'm a Smedley Butler or, a Dan Daly. I don't put myself in that kind of warrior class, or on that pantheon of, but I learned from good leaders. I learned from bad leaders. I learned especially from bad leaders. And that's where so much of this comes from, is seeing that this is an ideal, right? Like, this is building a philosophy that's I think shaped my life, but it had to be written out.